Patchy mix. Look, Patchy, I was excited to watch your fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the way you were talking, the way you were moving, you were gonna be a big time contender in the bantamweight division. But my boy, from what I saw against Mario Bautista, the performance you put on last night, dude, you looked horrible. Because that was terrible. I thought you were going to beat Mario Bautista and maybe finish him, but Mario Bautista just went in there and cruised to victory. My boy, you were looking like a punching bag out there because Mario Bautista was just fading in and out and peppering you with a 1-2 and a couple of body shots. That was it. You didn't do anything of note, and you were talking about looking over him, doing this, doing that, paying attention to the title picture. My boy, you don't even deserve to be in the UFC after the performance you just put off, man. Like, that was crazy. How could you talk all that shit and look stiff as a brick? Explain it, bro. It made no sense because that was the most horrific performance of a debut that I've ever seen from a hyped up prospect like Patchy Mix. Like, the fraud check ain't even a fraud check, bro. You're just a complete fraud. There was nothing to be checked. You walked in as a fraud. You sold us the idea that you were going to be a world champion, and you shit the bed. You literally shit the bed. You didn't do anything of note in that fight. I just couldn't believe it. Look, I would understand if you at least put on a decent performance and went out there and gave it your all. But, dude, you just got whacked. The entire fight, you got whacked. You couldn't stick and move. You had no head movement. So Mario Bautista was just hitting you with 1-2s to the chin left and right. The only thing I could say out of this, you have a decent chin. But that's not coming from much from Mario Bautista in the pillow hands that he has. But credit to Bautista. He looked good. He put on a good performance. He did his part to cruise to victory. But Patchy, you cannot talk all that smack and think that you're not going to get ratioed. Because that was an embarrassment. Genuinely, you made Bellator realize why they don't exist anymore after that performance. Bellator does not exist because the quality of fighters in their regime at the time are not to the standard of the UFC. No wonder why they couldn't compete with the UFC. No wonder why PFL bottomed out, because the performance you put on was terrible. It was horrific. My boy, I hope you go into the drawing board and figure something out, but I'm not going to say what these other people are saying for you to do, telling you to go work at McDonald's and put the fries in the bag. Patchy Mix, if you were to leave the sport, I don't even think you should do that. My boy, you should be a salesman, because the sales pitch you put on this week saying how you were going to be world champion and you were going to cruise through the division, you had me buying into that. You had a lot of people buying into that. Boy, go sell cars, go sell houses, go be a real estate agent, bro, because at that point you could sell anything if you're selling us the idea that you will be world champion after the performance you just put on last night. Because, my boy, credit to you, bro. You sold me an idea that I just lost all my money in at that point. But the fact is, Patchy, moving forward, I don't know what's next for you. If you beat Bautista, more than likely, you were going to get thrown up into the title picture. Maybe get a big fight with Piotr. Maybe get a big fight with Corey. Maybe running it up with Sean O'Malley to try to get a number one contender spot, or Umar. Buddy, you're going to be in the bottom of the prelim now. Nobody's going to see you in a main card fight anymore. That's the truth. You're probably going to be thrown into the apex. Dana White's going to throw you into obscurity after the performance you put on Saturday, because that was terrible. I'm serious. Like, I was so surprised at the fact that I think that was the worst performance I've seen from a hyped-up prospect in my entire life as a UFC fan. And I've been watching UFC since 2011, so I've seen the who's who of stinked-up prospects folding on their debuts. Like, that's the truth. But Patchy, I think this was the cherry on top, man. This was literally the cherry on top of everything, because the performance you put on was terrible. I don't know how you became a world champion. I don't know the level of fighters that are in Bellator at the moment. Like, I get it. You beat guys like Rafion Stotts. You beat Horiguchi. You beat Sergio Pettis. Like, these guys you were hyping up saying they were world champions, this and that. If you beat those guys, man, I could only imagine how Rafion Stotts would look in the UFC, or how Sergio Pettis would do if he returned to the UFC. Guys, these guys would get whacked. They would get demolished because all the credibility or some bit of credibility that Bellator had until their demise is gone. It's gone. If Patchy Mix looked this bad, I can only imagine what's going to happen with Aaron Pico against Movsar Evelev. Oh my God, that's going to be a nightmare for him. He's going to get obliterated. He's going to get destroyed. There's no way around it. I can only imagine. And the fact that Aaron Pico is fighting Movsar Evelev, man, I'm not even going to get into that because that's a other shit show of a booking decision that the UFC made. I don't know why Aaron Pico is fighting Movsar. That makes no sense to me. Anyways, to the point, Patchy. Moving forward, we'll see you at the prelim. You're probably going to fight, I don't know, Ricky Simon, Syed Nurmagomedov. You're going to find some bottom barrel, low-ranked, maybe Jonathan Martinez, bro. You're going to get someone down in the gutter in the rankings, in the prelim, or in a fight night card. Because main card pay-per-view, Patchy, I don't think Dana White wants to see you there. Or Hunter Campbell. I don't think any of them want to see you there after the performance you put on. Because that was horrific. I'm sorry if I'm coming off harsh, but the hype that this guy had in the performance he put on, there was no correlation. There was nothing of note. Buddy, I thought you were a grappler. Why didn't you even try to shoot for a takedown? At least try to get the victory. Don't just stand there and look and stay stiff and stationary and not even try to stick your move and build up combinations or parry with the jab. You did nothing. Nothing in that fight. That was horrific. But anyways, Patchy, whatever you do next, I wish you well. But damn it, that is gotta be one of the worst performances I've seen from a hyped up prospect in a long time. That is the pinnacle of fraud checks. But anyways, people, let me know what you think of this video. What do you think is going to happen with Patchy Mix moving forward? The Fighting Gringo be free! Don't forget to subscribe, guys.